That was such a good battle between Jeremy and Taj.
And another big one. Now Julian Wilson just trying to get 2016 back on track. He's up against Otton and Adam Melling. Haven't made it past round 3 in this contest as a CT.
And just looking at this matchup, this is actually really, really cool because you can't count out Kai either. He's such a battler and his backhand's going to look nice out here. Textbook wrap from Julian. He's got such a wide arc in those carves. He definitely separates himself from a big chunk of the field.
Whether it was an equipment thing or a motivation thing, it just wasn't working out for him as we see Adam Melling get barreled off the takeoff. Drawn out turn, not overcommitted for that second maneuver. Really starting to link together some solid turns on the finish though. Here goes Otton. He's going to drive off the bottom. Nice vertical approach, whipped his board through that first maneuver. Has some momentum as he heads down the line. Another surfer with a great backhand, but Julian, like Taj in the last heat, looking more inspired in this clash at the moment than he has all year, but just bogs down on that final maneuver and almost runs over one of his rivals in Adam Melling.
Finishing strong. I mean, probably one of the better waves I've seen surfed all day by Adam Melling.
As Strider, you know, we were talking about how barrels are just not really scoreable out here. They get almondy, but that thing was nice.
Looking into it, you could just tell as he took off, I said, oh, he's going to pull into this thing, and he grabbed the wall, timed it perfect. It just had a nice little Scooby snack for him, came right through the corner, big open face. It looked a little bit like your waves down at Gas Bay, buddy.
Scooby snack, I love it. And so obviously Otton right here, he's the only guy out there, he's a goofy footer. So right foot forward, left foot back, however you want to call it. He's on his backhand, so he's going to look different, but not putting all the pieces together there, coming unstuck. I love Julian's upper body. The way he makes it work for his surfing, it's very unique, isn't it, Ronnie? He really rips into it with his torso and his chest, and I think that allows him to draw that line out longer than most.
Down there at Bells Beach. But just the in-between work, he just didn't look all that inspired out on the open face. In this heat already, I'm seeing a lot more aggression in his manoeuvres and some decent return for that aggression. Not a lot of damage done as far as multiple turns, but he's collecting some pretty decent numbers.
Well, here's the trick for Julian as we're going to really watch this first maneuver. He's not a surfer that gets really fixated on being speedy and fast. He is a smooth carver. You know, he really likes to extend that rail. The cool thing for Julian is that this wave here at Margaret River on this right, it's conducive for that type of surfing. You don't have to be fidgety and kind of hopping around like a Felipe or someone who's constantly kind of gyrating and getting down to, looking for that pop. Julian's not a surfer with pop, is he? He's one of those very syrupy surfers that goes down, but he pushes hard on his rail. He surfs big. We talked about how he has more length in his arc. That is great for Margaret River because the judges are pretty far away from these surfers. So,
as an alternate, and he'll probably be here for the rest of the season with some major injuries to some high-profile players. But here's the replay once again of the 7.27 opener.
Well, again, I like it to be, it all really boils down to reflexes. 100% Adam wasn't taking off in this wave going, I'm going to get a barrel. He took off and said, whoa, this thing's actually jacking up. So he stalled with his right arm. So right there, he's trying to slow himself down to get back in that barrel. The judges aren't going to like it if you don't totally disappear. And he did that just a couple of times, even though it was only for a half a second. He was back there. And the deeper you get in the barrel, the more technical and more difficult it is. That makes it scoreable.
Why has Adam Melling never cracked the top 20?
This place gets so much more rippable when the wind lays down.
Some movement at the takeoff zone. Otton with priority. Good looking wave stretching out. He's going to drive up into this first section. Gets his board vertical for a moment. Just hangs up there on the lip. Great control. Second turn's decent. Third turn just working his way through to the inside. And he's going to kick out just before that wave goes dry on the inside. As they decide whether they're going to go for that last turn, Kai, you could see him there. Should I, shouldn't I? Is there really any points left in it? The first turn was money.
So sick. You can tell Kai's on a board that he is really confident on. It's so obvious, isn't it, Ronnie? You can tell when someone's on a board where they're just surfing the way they want to. They're not thinking about it. And you're right, it's hectic on that last section right there. That was a pretty radical rock. That thing was. There is a lot of seaweed on there, so.
Roommates at CT locations kind of pushing each other to big results as Julian takes off here. Nice turn on a tricky section to get started. Second move is strong. Does well to get his board on top of the falling lip. Kicks out as the wave shuts down. Just under 16 minutes to go. Laid his board over and pushed through it.
Nice little fade right here, trying to just get in sync with the right section. Julian always gets so low to the water. So under the lip line, almost kind of an under the lip snap right there, but you can see he pushed on his tail, so he made that move look good. This is the one though right here. I want you to pay attention to how critical he was after this actual turn. So right here, you're going to see a standard, beautiful car from Julian, but watch his surfboard as he comes out of it. Because he tweaked it so hard, he's going to get airborne just a little bit right there. And the judges are going to love that. That means he's pushing as hard as he possibly could for a standard carve. I mean, that was a really committed move. And then a little bit lucky here, because that wave closed out, it allowed him to switch it up, and do a different maneuver to finish that wave.
Now, Julian Wilson has a signature fin that is a medium-sized template, and I think just the evolution of his surfing is in display when he lays his board on rail. He's using the fanning template. It's a bigger fin, more drivey. And Julian's surfing has definitely evolved in recent times as we see Kai Otton pulling into the barrel and didn't quite find the exit, but Kai, one of the best tube riders, frontside tube riders on the CT. Melling went right on that wave and is still knocking out points as he just taps that lip and gets out of there.
I love watching Adam in comparison to Julian. They surf so different. You can see how fast Adam is. It's ridiculous how much speed he gets through his turns. So there's so many different ways to skin a cat. And he uses it to his advantage. He doesn't just fly down the line with all that speed and do nothing with it. He gets a ton of torque. He rips through those carves with so much speed. Really fun to watch, the difference between those two surfers. And I tell you, Kai Otton right there was close to getting a really sick barrel of that wave, what we were talking about earlier, that almond shape.
Elmo now does not leave the side of Glenn Micro Hall Supercoach, and it's been fun to watch these two work together. They've been, laughing, having a ball, not taking anything too seriously.
Well, Julian Wilson wanted to kick that ball into the bush down at Bell's after his round 3 heat with Wilco.
The energy I've seen from all the surfers today, they got the memo. They really showed up. Everyone just looks really like they want to get into a fist fight out there. And so I think for Julian, he knows he's got a really lazy backup score. He wants to ditch that thing. That wasn't an easy wave to surf. In comparison, you can see that beautiful fade, put him right in a zone to have that heavy, long, low bottom turn. That second turn right there, for sure, where the judges were just absolutely in love with.
This heat, this might be the heat that turns things for Julian's season. I saw nothing to have me believe that he was going to be contending for the world title this year at the first 2 stops. We've got set waves approaching, and Kai Otton, he is tracking down a solid number to get himself out of combination here. He gets a nice barrel. This wave will slow up a little bit. Kai puts his board on rail for a moment. A steep section here to work with. He lets go of a huge frontside snap. A high-risk move, but just gets lost in the foam. And Melling now on the attack. Really swift through the transitions here. Comboing his moves up nicely, but this wave really tapering off quickly. He's still in it. He can get the job done. He needs a 9.83 to take the lead. Kai Otton comboed at this stage.
Snap that Kai did after a pretty decent barrel was crazy. Really cool tail slide. So nice little barrel here, but he needs something extra. And here's the cool thing. He found a full-blown present on the inside right here. Big section that came at him, and he did well. He blasted the fins free, but just got a little too disconnected. He couldn't reconnect with the wall. I think for sure Adam Melling's going to be tripping. That he needs a 9.83 because he is absolutely tearing out there. Surfing so fast, that board looking really nice under his feet. He just needs to find that wave that has a little more of that exciting wall where he can nail those big heavy moves like Julian has.
Kai Otton still got time in this heat to chase down 2 excellent scores. Has been getting those big vertical backhand snaps happening on each of his. Here we go. Julian looking to drop an 8 to increase his total. Solid carve to get started. And just bashes through that second turn and brings his board right around on the third manoeuvre. Just gets a tidy little finish here. He might just increase his lead with this ride because it's obviously a big focus for the competitors. But I think one of the first things we do look at when someone's not performing at their best is the board that's under their feet. How much of it do you think is psychological? A lot of the times the equipment doesn't change too much season for season for the competitors. Has Julian just had a bad start to the year psychologically, or has he been struggling to find the right board?
Well, I've been listening to your commentary, and I agree. He has looked off in terms of just Julian alone. But I will say his board did not look great on the Gold Coast. He looked like he was hindered. He wasn't going where he wanted to. The exact opposite right now. You can see he's setting his eyes on a section, and his board is taking him there. So there's no hindrance. He's not trying to get that extra speed to get there. He's not laboring through his maneuvers. He's ripping through his turns. So it is everything for a pro surfer to be able to fix your eyes on a section, have a vision, and complete it with that maneuver. It's everything. It really does make the difference. When you have that magic carpet, it gets you those results.
And where would your motivation go if you didn't have that board under your feet?
Oh, in the tank. Yeah, you're fragile.
Well, here goes Kai Otton. Pretty fragile at the moment, needing the brake combination to get himself into this heat, and there is only 2 minutes remaining. He needs 2 waves and a 17.11 combination to get ahead of Julian Wilson, who's up once again on the inside, building speed for this first section. Drives through a committed carve. Just has been tapping that second section well, really looking to loosen up.
Is on par, and right here at the end, this could be a great way for Adam Melling as he glides into this one. Comes around the corner, looks for the lip, bang, off the top right there. Nice, clean, fast surfing off the bottom, into the corner again, slams away, looking for the closeout turn. I don't know what's going to go down. Big float. Couldn't see if he made it or not.
There he is. He's bringing this one right through to the inside. 1 minute remaining. Julian put together a solid ride, but we're all just sweating on this score for Adam Melling.
Wow. Again, definitely gets the nod in terms of torque and speed over Julian, but just lacking a little bit of a oomph in those maneuvers compared to Julian. Julian's been drawing those lines out.
Couldn't really commit like he would have liked.
Yeah, those torquey snaps are the bomb when you're on the Goldie and those tight little nook waves. But out here at main break, those big open face carves are, again, are going to get you the nod.
Well, standing by, we will get you the official result.
Julian Wilson puts together one of his best performances of the season and hangs on to a huge win with a 17.10 combined total.